safety. So I always like to be safe when I'm going out on the ice, and I was the safety guy at AGR. So they always made sure that I had to, take care of things. So I made this thing up. It's a throw bag. I put about a pound or maybe a little bit more of sand in a bag on the bottom, and then I coil up a rope in there. And all this is an old chair bag, for one of those foldable chairs. I cut it off and made it into this throw bag so that if anybody would break through, you don't want to go running up and try to pull them out because you're going to go in, good chance. So I made this throw bag, and all I got to do is take this, line it up with, and I can probably easily throw this 30 feet. So I just line it up and I throw it and try to get it to go, the line to go over top their heads so I can pull it back. Hopefully they can grab a hold if they haven't, got too cold, and we can pull them out. But that's one of the safety devices I always try to take with me. So if anybody falls in, we can pull them out. Hey, Bob.
Does anybody, like if you're fishing by yourself, anchor in the ice away from you, have a line from that anchor you could pull yourself on? Anybody do that?
No, I've never seen anybody do that. At the lake, there are like those rescue donuts with a rope on them, but you got to run to the shore and grab that and come back out. You're much further ahead to have something. So what I do is I have these, which is just a handle with a nail in it, a spike, and I have these in my overalls. So if I would go through, I can get out and dig myself up onto the ice. Now, there's all kinds of different ones. So Russ has a set like this. They have little spring-loaded sleeves that go over the spike. Okay, just anything at all to give you a little bit of traction so you can claw your way back up out of the hole. I mean, when you go in, I don't think you have very long. So I would say if you're not back out in about 15 minutes, you're probably not going to be able to get yourself out. I saw a video on the guy that did a rescue, and I used to show it to the Boy Scouts. He purposely went into the water. They cut a big hole. He purposely went into the water with his clothes on to show what to do, to how to survive if you go through the ice. And he would put his arms on the ice. He said the most important thing is don't panic. Just get your arms up on top, and your jacket will freeze to the ice a little bit. So it'll help hold you there so you don't waste all your energy trying to pull yourself out right away. He says the longer you're in there, your body's going to get colder and colder. You're going to lose, the function of your brain. You're going to lose muscle control, and it's going to be harder and harder for you to get up. So just rest till you get calm, and then try to rip your arms off and see if you can't pull yourself out. He stayed in there quite a while, and you could tell his teeth were chattering, his speech was, slowing down, and finally he got out. They covered him up with a blanket and stuff, and he went in and measured his body temperature and said, yeah, I'm almost hypothermic. And I mean, he purposely did it, and I thought, wow, that takes a lot of guts. But he was a doctor, so I mean, somebody should understand it. It would be him. Yeah, and I thought that was pretty good how they did that. But so, yeah, getting on the ice. The other thing that I always take into consideration is if we don't have any snow, I have these crampons that go on my boots. I made them so I could take them off pretty easy. I just pull this tie on the back. I put in a sailor's knot. I can just yank that and pull that off real quick. Some guys don't like these because they're noisy. And the other problem is that if you're standing in the water on the slush or something, if you're standing there too long, then when you go to pick up your foot, it pulls your crampon right off. So yeah, you have to kind of gauge it on how the water is and how the ice is.
I was wondering, if someone falls in the water, I mean, I'm assuming they would be completely submerged, and do they automatically come back?
Most likely, it's just going to be a smaller hole. I mean, it could be a big hole. I don't know. But yeah, chances are you're going to sink. Got all this equipment on, right? I got these heavy boots. I got overalls, a heavy jacket. I got all this weight on me. So it's not going to be like swimming. You're going to have to fight to get back up. Get a hold of the ice and pull yourself up. And that's why that guy said, put your arms on the top and hopefully you can get it to freeze to the surface. No, I've never been in. My buddy did though last week. He was checking the ice, checking over by 528 launch. And he has a little spot that he likes to go to. So he was going to try this. And he just got out on the ice a little ways, and he takes his auger with him. He was getting ready to drill a hole, and he went through up to his knee. But that was all the further he went. So yeah, it can happen pretty easy. And last week, we did have, or I guess a couple weeks ago, we did have some warm weather there, and we lost a lot of the ice. So he was trying to get to a place that had lost some ice. But, okay, and here comes the MC for the day. This is Russ. This is Russ Cawthorne.
Anybody here ever had a senior moment?
No, I didn't think so.
All the stuff that I really needed to have for demonstration purposes is in this bag that I left at home. So I'm back. So
Okay.
What did you do? So
We just said a lot of bad things about you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And other than that, no, we started talking about getting on the ice and the safety for, what happens if you go through the ice and, what to do. And we all talked to Bob Nolan here.
okay.
That's my buddy Tom's brother.
Everybody get a number?
No, not yet. No, I
Okay.
just,
While I'm doing that, just get a number right around.
okay, all right.
All right.
We're going to have a drawing at the end, so everybody gets a number. Door prize. Going to have a door prize. Okay, yeah.
Hi, Russ. Hi, Russ. My name's Owen. Is it okay
You're
if
welcome.
we film you today?
Yeah, okay.
Can I pop this mic on?
Can
you? You just do your thing. We're just hanging out.
Okay.
We okay with that?
He has one too?
He's got it.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
Like there's a guy that lives here, he used to live up in Watertown, New York.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, would anybody like a program of what we're going to teach today? Or just raise your hand,
See,
okay?
the most I've ever
This is a
seen
sheet
was
you can
last
take
year. We
back
had
and
like
read.
over
Okay.
7 inches, 8 inches. That was,
Okay,
yeah, there was a lot of ice, I thought. You could tell when you're drilling the holes. Oops.
all right.
That one
He
goes
said
in
you
there.
gotta dip
Okay, anyone
the
else?
dump truck on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Whoops, I'm sorry. I just kicked the camera.
all right, there you go. Okay,
To get through.
yep,
Tight squeeze.
okay.
Yeah, I
I
can.
also have a publication from somebody who would be interested. It's called
my
Play.
lucky number.
It's about
Whoops.
ice fishing with somebody like one of these.
Yes.
Okay? Again, these are things
Thank you,
sometimes
bud.
you can just take back and read. All right.
I missed 2 back here.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay.
Got a good one there?
Yep.
My friend's here.
They're all good till the drawing.
My friend's here. I'm going to pick
Okay.
one for her too.
Okay. Throw that in there.
Did everybody take a minute
There
or
you
two?
go. For
Did
the
you
friend
see
there.
any of the
Okay.
pictures up here at
Thanks.
all? Did you see any of the pictures? We saw the vest. You saw the vest? Okay.
What's this?
This is for the drawing at the end. He's got a little, like a door prize.
First of all,
There you go.
has anybody here ever been ice fishing? You've been ice fishing? Can you tell me where? At Moraine. Anywhere else?
Take it for the door prize.
Okay, small ponds or whatever? Okay. Have you done,
She lost her phone, so if you ever hook one,
There you go,
it might be
bud.
her.
okay. Have you ever caught anything? No.
There.
Okay, how many times have you been out fishing, ice fishing? Okay, all right. How thick was the ice? Okay, all right. So you must have a trusting husband then? Okay, all right. I do have a quick question. How long does it take ice to form? And how thick should it be if you're going to be fishing on ice?
We know that already.
Okay, those of you who have that sheet, look at the back of it and it tells you about ice thickness. And what does it tell you about ice thickness? What does it tell you? Anything? Anything at all? You say yes.
It looks like minimum 4 inches.
About 4 inches. That's safe ice. All right. There's a picture of it, and again, it tells you about safe ice. How long does it take to form that thick ice? Depends on the temperature outside, correct. And just as an example, a few weeks ago we had a real cold snap for 10 days or whatever. The ice was, and again, Doug and I and a few of his friends were on the ice after about no less than 10 days, and the fishing was excellent. But how thick was the ice, Doug, at that time?
I think we ended up around 4 or 5 inches.
Okay, 4 to 5 inches, so it was relatively good ice, all right? And again, for those of you who want to do ice fishing at some point, maybe down the road or you know somebody, there's a little diagram here that tells you how fast ice can be formed. And normally it forms pretty fast when it's really, really, really cold, all right? That's safe ice. So 4 inches is pretty much safe, all right?
Does it freeze faster?
Say again?
Does it freeze faster if it's windy, the wind's blowing?
Actually,
Wind and rain are two things that can affect the ice thickness and how quickly it forms. So again, yeah, extremely high winds will decrease the amount of time that it takes to wind. But once you get 2 or 3 inches, then it doesn't make any difference because then ice is formed underneath.
and snow on top kind of
Snow on
insulates
top-
it. That's kind of
Snow
slows
is
it
an
down.
insulator, so snow is not good overall. When you get really thick snow, it's not good for ice. Snow needs to go away. It's the best, best I can say.
Or it gets really cold.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
we got a question over here.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yes,
Do the penguins go on ice fishing? Penguins.
well, no, but they do survive in the wintertime through ice. There's normally what they call breathe holes.
Yeah.
And they come in and out of that ice thickness, and that's where, yeah. So they do eat and so forth. Penguins, yeah. Even though we don't have penguins around here.
Oh, we do, just downtown.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna have Doug demonstrate. Once you have ice 4 inches or more, and you're gonna be, looking for fish, the first thing you need to do is you need to find a hole, make a hole, right? It's not like a fishing in the springtime where you have a rod and you have lots of free open water. What you have now is ice, but you need a hole to get in the ice. Doug, if you want to show them how you use your auger, and again, this is an auger.
This is really light. This has got plastic fins, and it only makes a 6-inch hole. I got this really good deal on MacBid, and I got this on MacBid too. So this is a 1/2-inch, drill, and that goes right on the end. Works really well. So I just clip that on there. And then on this end, I have a plastic cover that goes over the cutting blades. So they're really sharp. So you have to be careful. But those has a point in the middle that kind of hits and holds it in place. And then once you get started, this cuts a hole. To cut it through 4 to 5 inches of ice, I can do it in probably about 15 seconds. It doesn't take very long, where like we were talking about with a hand auger, it takes a long time. It would probably take, 15 minutes. It takes a while. So all I do is hook that up, and then away it goes. And I lean on it, and it'll drill a hole in Yeah. And this disc up here at the top, that's so if it comes off the drill, it won't go down through the ice, which that's happened to me too. I've had to retrieve it.
And just to add the difference here, this is a larger auger, works the same way. It's electric, it's not gas.
And this is all metal.
And this is all metal. And what's different is here is if I hold this up, okay, so this is bigger. This is an 8-inch hole. That's a 6-inch hole. And in Pennsylvania, the maximum hole that you're allowed to have is 10 inches. So there are augers a little bit bigger than this that have what you call a 10-inch auger. This is a 6-inch auger. But again, this is with a battery-operated hand drill, where this has a battery that you take in and out and recharge, all right? And again, the difference being,
Now, and that's heavy enough that you don't have to put any extra force on it. But with this, I do. I have to push down on it to make a hole. But that, yeah, both of them work pretty well.
Is the hole size a safety thing?
Yes.
yes,
So you don't leave a hole, because when you're done, you pick up your gear and go home. There's a hole in the ice, and somebody comes walking out, they could step in it.
so yeah, you can't go out and make a hole bigger than 10 inches, or you can get a nice heavy
Yeah, 'cause-
fine for that if it catch you.
That boot would go through a 10-inch hole.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
take one leg in the hole.
Yeah.
Any other questions about doing a hole?
I got a question about safety. We all learned about how thick the ice was. You guys go in pairs? I mean, it makes sense.
Usually, I always go with someone. I'd say, yeah, for the most part, we always do. Occasionally, you do see guys out there by themselves, but yeah, I mean, that's the risk. Yeah, I think it's really smart, because I don't think it's worth getting a fish to, to risk your life, all right?
Put up a tent?
No, I don't have a tent, but seems like it's very popular now. There's a lot of guys have tents, and yeah, they drag them out on the ice. It's extra weight, and yeah, so I've never really considered it. I also see that on a windy day, sometimes you'll see them, the tents will be blowing down the ice. Yeah, there goes the tumbleweed.
And we're talking about safety, so one of the things that sometimes we will wear are just regular life vests. Do you have,
Yeah.
what ones
yeah,
do you have?
We already talked about that a little bit. Yeah, when I go out and I'm moving, that's what I always put mine on. Yeah, when I'm out there, once I've checked the ice, if we have 4 or 5 inches, then I feel like the whole area is pretty safe. You know, I don't see any holes or anything like that, then I'll take it off. But
You talk
yes,
about
sir.
these?
Size for kids, life jackets, what size?
Well, yeah, it'll say on the inside of your jacket, it should have a rating for what your jacket's good for. So yeah, they do come in different sizes. If you have children, you definitely want to get one that's sized for them, because if they put something this big on a child, they would go in and child could go right through. You know, their hands could go right through it. You need something that actually fits them very well.
Did you talk about these?
Yeah, I didn't talk about the ones in your left hand.
Okay, I'm going to pass these around. These are ice picks. What does that mean? It means that if I would happen to fall through the ice, if I would, all right, these are normally around my person somewhere, so that I can go. And if you look, if you have these, if you would fall through, you would kind of like hit the ice with these. There's little sharp points here so that you can actually come up out of that. This is a homemade pair. I'm going to pass these around. Again, you don't necessarily need to take them apart, but these are ice picks. So again, you just take a look at it, pass it around. Take a look at it, pass it around. And that's something you would use if you would fall through to get yourself from going down any further, all right? Doug has a thing here that we always carry this with us.
Yeah, we already
gonna
talked about
demonstrate
that.
how it works?
Yeah, I already explained about the throw device, so that if anybody goes through, I can take this, clip it on my belt, or
Throw it.
hang on to it?
Throw it.
Oh, okay.
Throw it.
So yeah, but there is a weight in the bottom, so you don't want to throw it right at the person. You just want to kind of throw it so it goes over their head.
Okay.
And then I hopefully can drag it back so that it comes past them and they can grab it.
And again, we're going to pass it. Go ahead. We'll just stick it back in there.
Okay.
And again, we're going to pass that around. You can see there's some weight to it. You can't just have the rope in there by itself. That won't work because you need to be able to throw it far enough to get to the person if someone has gone through. And again, he has to put it back inside.
Yeah, so it'll deploy.
Okay.
So yeah,
Here's another pair of ice picks. And again, just return these. These are homemade. So again, it's something you can make. You don't necessarily have to buy everything that you see up here. Okay. All right, we got that. So we got life. Anything about life-saving devices or whatever? Anybody? Any questions? Again, you can make your own. The biggest thing is you need to know your body of water where you can ice fish and where you can't ice fish. Every body of water is different. Lake Arthur, for example, has areas that people ice fish in. What I'm going to pass this around is, how many have been to Lake Arthur? Okay, you've been to Lake Arthur. When I say ice fishing, you're not going everywhere on Lake Arthur. You're just not, because the ice, a lot of times, is not really super thick yet, or at least now a lot of it's gone away. It'll come back if it gets real cold again. But the areas that are circled here will tell you what general areas where people do ice fish. So take a look at that real quick. That's the entire shoreline. Lake Arthur has a 40-mile shoreline, so you're not going to go ice fishing everywhere. But the areas that are circled will tell you what areas are popular for ice fishing. What did we talk about these? Anything?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. Yes, question.
You're fishing on Lake Arthur
Correct.
in an area, and there's 3 inches of ice.
Right.
Is the whole lake frozen?
No.
So it's just going to be maybe along the
Yeah, certain, like example, 528 bridge, like where the piers go in, it hardly ever freezes there. So yeah, you cannot go anywhere near that bridge. Same thing with the one that goes over 422. You don't want to go near that. Anything that sticks out of the water like that, like a log or something, that tends to hold the heat, and the ice around it is very thin. So if you see a branch coming up out of the water, you don't want to go near it because right around it's very thin. And certain areas seem to freeze first, like Muddy Creek. That always is the first area that freezes, the first place the ice fishermen can get on. So once you see that, then as long as we got cold water or cold air and cold temperatures at night, it'll keep making the ice. Then you can go expand. But over time, you'll learn where you can start fishing.
Any other questions? Okay. One of the things for safety sometimes is that I carry one of these. And all this is a homemade item that does 2 things. It helps me if I'm walking on the ice, just to, like you would here, if you have a handheld device that you can steady yourself. Not only that, if by chance I would fall through the ice, normally, depending on where you are and how thick the ice is, a lot of times if you sound like, well, you go through the ice all the time. No, but I've been through the ice. A lot of times you just go straight down. If I have this in my hand, this will kind of help me to stop whatever. But also I use this as a device. If there's old holes that somebody drilled the day before, I can break open that ice with this little pick, and that's what this is. This is I'm probably one of the only ones that uses one of these, but it's been helpful for me to use.
That's how we can tell it's him when he's coming from a long way off. He always has it.
Here comes the old guy with a stick in his hand.
If you see any whales.
Yeah, there you go. If I see any whales, I can harpoon them.
Here comes Captain Ahab, right?
What we're going to do is we're going to show you some tip-ups. Doug, you want to show them how
sure.
that particular one works?
Okay, this is called a high stick. Actually, I got this off of somebody I know. And with this, so this this is the reel, and there's I got a piece of styrofoam on the hook. So the hook goes down through here, and I'll run it down a ways, okay, like that. So if, say, I'm going to be in about 5 foot of water, that's about how much I'd have it off, so that it'd be about a foot off the bottom. And then we got a flag here. It's on a piece of spring steel. The way this works is it hooks like that, and then this cross sits on the ice, and the reel's actually down in the water, so it's submerged, and that way it doesn't freeze. And when something hits it, the reel spins and it releases the flag, and then so I call this Tinkerbell, so I can hear it. I can hear it when it's dark out, and that actually works because we like to go sometimes early in the morning, and if we're out there setting up before sunlight, you can't see it. I can hear them. Okay, well there was. No, I made that one though.
Okay, so you see the idea? There it is.
The same
All right, so-
idea. I made this one.
Yeah, these are tip-ups. They're called tip-ups for the simple reason whenever this goes up, it's tipped. Okay?
Yeah, and then when something hits it and the reel, it's going to drag line off the reel spins, and that releases the flag. So yeah, if you look back and your flag's flying in the air, it's time to get running.
So you can sit in the car with the engine running, drinking coffee.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, and I'll call over to Russ and say, hey, could you check my line?
Yeah.
Is it legal to do that, to get away from your line?
Yes.
Yeah, you're only allowed 5 in the water, though. You can only have 5 devices
Yep,
at a
you're
time.
on 5 devices. What I'm going to do, I'm going to see how good you are at thinking. I'm going to pass some of these around. There are no hooks on them, so you can't get hooked. But I want you to see if you can figure out how it makes it work. Doug, you want to start passing these out, if you would?
Sorry, what's that? Oh,
Just start passing them on. Okay. Again, they're all a little different. See if you can figure them out. There are no hooks.
This is the real.
yeah, that's okay, that one sits on the ice a little different. This is one of the high sticks. Pass them around.
Small flag on it.
Yeah, that.
Frank Preston right there, huh?
Yeah, the Preston Conservancy area. Yeah, that's actually, this
Right.
propagation area is that's part of Muddy Creek. So this is the one this is the section that freezes over first.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, or actually, yeah, this area too. This area
that helps.
and this area. Yeah, but where we'd go is over here.
Did
Where old
everybody?
422.
There you go,
comes in.
you're getting
Those
it figured
two-
out.
Those 2
Try
bays
that one.
there, or coves, that seems to
Okay,
be where
did you
we
see
went
these?
a lot. But anymore, this
Okay.
past year, that's where we did really well, is Porter's Cove.
See if you can figure it out. You got the idea. Open it up.
Catching.
Open it up.
Yeah. Yeah, ice,
it
we
up.
don't really care about, it's catching.
You have to open
We
it
can
up.
catch them.
Oh, we can't take the tape off?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know,
don't-
a
don't-
couple weeks
don't
ago,
take the
this
tape
was all
off.
open water as far as you could see. From this bridge out this direction, as far as you could see was open water.
Some of these areas were frozen.
Yeah, this Muddy Creek was frozen,
yeah.
but yeah, everything from here out that way, and even like over in here was still open water. So yeah, they've learned this over years of fishing there, where the ice forms and where guys can get on.
Did you get it figured out?
Yeah, that's the flag.
Okay. You got to figure it out? Okay.
I'm getting it.
Okay,
Any idea?
let me help you out here. This
I have fished my whole life
So-
and never been very much.
so this comes up
There you
like
go.
that.
Figure that one out.
Okay. Yeah, and so this hooks on like that. And then when the reel, when, you know,
if you can
the
figure
line
this
comes
one out.
off here, it spins this.
And the flag comes out.
Yeah, yeah, so, nope, doing it wrong here. Oh, he doesn't
Get
have
it
it.
figured out?
He's got it too
can't
loose.
break
So
it.
what happens
You can't
though is
break
this will spin and the flag
Okay.
comes up.
There you go. Okay.
So this isn't,
Make it work. Make
You
it
gotta-
work.
You have to adjust the tension on this one.
Thank you.
And the idea of the tension is
Got
so
the
that when the
idea?
wind blows,
All right.
it doesn't
So
Okay, so it's not just.
set itself off, yeah.
this would go there, right? So now lift it up.
Okay, so
Hold it up and then turn that. Hold on here.
Came in like two other papers.
for the door prize.
Okay.
Oh, for that? Yeah, yeah.
How we coming?
Okay.
You got it? You got it figured out?
Oh,
Okay. You got
Okay,
that one figured
yeah.
out?
do you want to see
You got
any of
that
these?
figured out? Okay.
You
You
okay?
got that?
Okay.
This would be an ice pick. This would go around your neck, over your head, and then if you needed to go through the ice. Okay. That's a homemade item. Any luck?
There you go. You're welcome.
Okay. And that would work. So you have this.
Did you
like
figure it
this,
out?
Yeah, I did.
And then this would turn.
But this is only 19 inches.
Oh, this was not working.
Fall down to 10-inch hole.
And that's the fly.
No, I don't think it could.
You could slide it over.
Well, I guess, you could, if you worked at it, you could, yeah.
You got the idea how they work?
Well, the thing is, once this is down,
Yeah,
once it's deployed,
yeah,
now it can only go this,
yeah, but it can go.
yeah,
It's only 9 inches there.
yeah,
Center point to.
yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
know, but the fish will drag it over
to one side, yeah.
And
It's-
get away.
I guess it's possible.
You find a fish with a flag.
Yeah, if you had a 10-inch auger, you might have to worry about that. Yeah, I don't have to worry. I've only got 6.
You got them all figured out?
Like I said, I don't think I could get that fish up through the hole in mine. I'd have to drill another hole. Well, I'd have to drill another hole beside it.
all right,
I already thought about that, if that would ever happen. What would I have to do? Here, I'll put this in.
Okay. Anybody have any idea what you think these tip-ups might cost? What do you think they might cost?
$1,000.
Not quite that much. Not quite that much.
Well, you made them all, right?
Well, I didn't make them all, no. The only one he made is the one he has in his hand. Everything else would be commercial, which means you bought them at a store. Give me a ballpark figure per tip-up. What do you think they might be?
35? 60.
A little high.
65.
How about between 20 to 25 bucks, depending on where you're going to go? All right, that's an average. So if I'm an avid ice fisherman and I'm allowed how many holes? 5. So 5 times 25. That's my initial investment just in the tip-up. That doesn't include the string, the hooks, and all the other little accessories that might go with it.
And I thought I would save money doing these myself because my dad, he was a very thrifty guy, did everything himself. So I thought, okay, I got the idea, I can make this. But by the time I bought all the hardware, cut everything out, and sourced everything, I'm clearly over $20, $25 easily. So yeah, I learned the lesson is I don't think I can make them cheaper than I can buy them. Yeah, I learned the hard way though.
And again, there's different styles. We just showed you a few different styles, and there are actually a few more out there. But there again, it depends on the style that you want to go with. You need to understand we are targeting, with these tip-ups, in most cases, we are targeting bigger fish. When I say bigger fish, I'm talking bass, northerns, bigger fish. We're not at the present time targeting what we call panfish, which would be bluegills, crappies, perch. Now, occasionally we do catch some big perch and occasionally a big crappie on a tip-up because they're hungry too, and they like to do, they'll grab their bait, whatever that bait happens to be, if it's in their fancy, all right? but normally we're targeting bigger fish. And when I say bigger fish, this is what I'm talking about. This is a largemouth bass, and again, we're talking something that weighs more than 5 pounds and is normally more than 20 inches long. This year alone, when the early ice was on, we had several of our fellows that we fish with were catching bass larger than this. Now, when I say larger than this, in most cases, it's catch and release. We are not always keeping the big fish because a lot of times these are your breeders. These are the ones you want to leave behind so that next year you can have more baby fish. All right? But this is a largemouth bass. How does a bass or a northern kill its prey? It's whatever bait it went after. Okay. Swallows it? Right away? Does he swallow it right away?
Here's your,
No, he doesn't.
here's your,
Where's my, okay. What is this? What is this? Okay, it's an alligator, all right? Do we have them at Moraine State Park? No. No, but there are some in where? Allegheny River. Okay, because they're catching a few where people have used these as pets. Maybe it got too big, and then they release it into the wild, what they call the wild, especially the rivers, the Yawk, the Allegheny River, and a few other places. They occasionally will find one of these, but I show you this for one reason. The mouth. What do you see? Lots of teeth. What does a northern pike have? Lots of teeth.
razor sharp.
Bass, if you look at this up close, there are small teeth in there, but every time a large fish is going to catch a large creek chub or a shiner for something to eat, first of all, what they have to do, just like this alligator, this is a little pet duck, right? But pretend this is a large chub fish, bait fish, like a big shiner. What the fish will do is when it comes up on that fish, it'll grab it in the middle, all right? Grab it in the middle, just like this. A lot of times, he has to kill it first before he can swallow it. And he has to swallow this bait fish tail first or head first? Head first, because it won't catch in his throat. So every bait fish that a bass or northern, before it normally flips off your flag, has to kill that fish first, that bait fish, before he can swallow it. Does that make sense? I only use this as an alligator to show you any big fish. When it grabs a large shiner or a chub, which is a bait fish, he has to kill it first and then lets the mouth open just a little bit so that the head is taken in first. So he swallows it head first. Make sense? Yes. Okay, they can't eat a fish backwards because the spines on the back of the fish would catch in the big fish's throat, so it wouldn't work. Okay, I'm going to pass this around. You can't hurt it, okay? But it gives you an idea. Watch the teeth. They are a little sharp. Okay. All right. Where do we get large crick chubs or bait fish or large shiners for bait? Where do we get those?
Bait store.
Bait store, all right. Right now, the going rate for little shiners, which would be no bigger than your index, this finger, about $7 a dozen. Wow. If you want bigger ones, they're even more. Okay, sometimes they'll be $1 a piece, depending on how large that crick chub is. But we like to catch our own. What does that mean? Doug, you want to put this together?
Sure.
This is what you call minnow trap. Minnow traps are used to catch bait fish for ice fishing, especially in this area. Again, if you have creek chubs and so forth, there's a nice market for them because it's less expensive. You know, you're not buying your fish. But what we use for bait, when we put that minnow trap in a small creek or a small stream, what do the fish, why do they want to go in there? Because they're after this. We use Velveeta cheese and old bread, dog feed, whatever. We put that inside here and then throw this in the water, check it every few hours or overnight, depending on how you want to do it.
Didn't get it all the way
then we keep the chubs in the creek, whatever we catch, and that's what we use for bait. So these are minnow traps, and you can see that's how it has a long string because, again, depending on how big the stream is or depending on where you want to be able to retrieve the minnow trap. Any idea how much the minnow trap might cost you? Take a guess. What do you think?
$30.
Pretty close. Anywhere between $20 to $30 depending on where you're buying them.
And that's a metal one. That's a good one. No. No, I crochet my own.
Okay. All right. We got the idea. Okay, this is a minnow trap. Okay.
Yeah, you got a pantyhose, huh?
If you were good. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What is this? If I catch a very large fish, like a northern that maybe is exceeding 30 inches in length, if I'm having a difficult time getting them up through the hole, this is a small gaff. And again, I would use this to put it in its jaw area so that I could pull it up through the ice. There again, this is a gaff.
So you don't want to put your fingers in there.
Yeah.
They're mean.
All right. All right. When we talk about larger fish, and again, you can pass this around, this isn't anything can hurt. These are northern pike. Okay. Doug, you want to just walk it around?
I didn't catch any of these.
This particular one
No, they're
shows
big.
about fishing with kids on a family pond. And what they're targeting is not bass, but they're targeting
So that's the
bluegills
type of
and
mouth
perch.
you'd have on a fish like this. This one like that. And their teeth go backwards, so you get your finger in there.
Longer than the yardstick.
How do you get such a
Predator fish, right? They eat the other fish.
Oh yeah, these are big predators. In fact, they'll eat their own young. Some of the lures, when I went to Canada 2 years ago, I took lures that were small pike, and I caught pike on them. Yeah, they'll eat anything that swims by. And this fish tends to hide and wait for something to come by, and then it attacks. Yeah.
All right. I have a technical question. We talked about early morning ice fishing, which means we may have headlights on our head. We may have flashlights so that we can see where we're going and walking on the ice and so forth. And once we drill a hole, remember now, there's no sunlight. It's early morning. My question to you is, once you have a tip up in the water with bait on, how does the fish, since it's totally dark, how does the fish locate the bait fish? Think about it. It's dark. You're under the ice. There's no light. There's no light. How does this fish find the bait fish that's attached to your tip up? I don't see any hands yet. You agree with him? There's no hands up.
They smell it.
Not really. They might be a little bit in smell, but that's not the
The
key.
bait fish wiggles,
Vibration.
the way they detect the vibration.
How does he sense the vibrations? You're right, you got the idea.
There are sensors on the sides of the fish.
On the side, you see that big black line? Everybody see that big black line? That's called the lateral line. And with the lateral line on a fish, it's able to sense vibrations, not smell, vibrations. Now when I say, what's the bait fish doing that creates vibrations? Come on now, you got to think about this. What is the bait fish doing to attract the fish, the big fish?
Trying to get away.
What's causing the vibration?
He's swimming.
Especially when you put a hook in them. Because now the fish is what? Injured. So now this big guy senses that that bait fish, there's something wrong with it. It's not swimming like it normally swims. Because it's doing what? It now has a hook in its side. There's a picture here with all the bait fish with hooks. Did you have it? All right, here we go. No. Well, anyway, if you have a bait fish and it has a hook in its side, it's swimming erratically and it's actually making vibrations in the water because it's really not swimming away. It's maybe swimming in circles or just around a circle, but it's making vibrations. And so the big fish, the northern or the bass, senses that vibration and it can target then on the bait fish.
There you go. Right there.
Right, just take him around and show him. And again, he's going to show you the bait fish when I
this
say
is
they're
how they hook
hooked. Sometimes you hook them in the back, sometimes you hook them through the lips, and sometimes there are a guy will actually hook them in near the back of the tail. But you remember, the best place to hook a bait fish is in the middle of the back, because when that big fish, the bass or northern, targets that fish, it wants to grab it in the middle so that it can kill the fish first, wait for it to stop wiggling, and then open its mouth enough so that it can swallow the bait fish head first. It's got to go in head first. Most people don't understand, or why do they do that? They have to do that.
They'll live for a couple days.
It's like it's better for you to
take the
use a
hook out
fork
and
and a
throw it
spoon
back
to
in the
feed
bait bucket.
yourself
They'll still
than
live
it
for a
is your
few days.
fingers. All right? It works both ways, but it's better off to use a fork. So do you understand?
Are these fish, like that one
Mainly
there,
in the winter.
are they as active
Summer
in the
they
cold
grab
water?
For the first 2 weeks, a while back, the fish were being caught left and right at Moraine State Park in several of the areas that I showed you that were circled. But I know in the last week, because the temperature has been on the increase and the ice is actually
not in-
decreasing in thickness,
Yeah, but the fish
fishing has
usually don't
been
come in
very,
that
very,
close.
very,
You gotta fish
very
pretty
slow.
much straight down.
Doug will tell you, hey Doug,
Yeah.
tell him how long you were out the other day with no flags at all, you and your friends.
Well, I said we started at 7 in the morning, my buddies, and we left at 3, and caught nothing.
Nothing.
And I talked to a guy yesterday, or 2 days ago, and he had fished all day. He said there was at least 30 guys, that would have been Sunday, and he said there was at least 30 guys, and he saw nobody catch a fish.
Right.
All day.
And that's why they say this is fishing, not catching. Okay? That's why it's called
There's how I
fishing,
hook 'em, Bob.
not just catching. He's
Right through the
showing you
middle.
some bait fish, how they're hooked. Kind of gives you a general idea.
Move my gear and go to the next hole.
If I drill a hole in the ice, if I have a 6-inch hole or an 8-inch hole, and I put this
But
tip up
really
over the
all I
hole,
need my
what
fingers for
advantage does
is
this
when
type of a tip up have for ice fishing?
Just getting the bait on. Everything else I could do with my gloves on. And let me
See
show
how
you
it
this.
covers the hole? And that prevents, if it gets windy and if it's snowing a little bit, it prevents the snow and stuff from building up in that particular hole. So this is a good tip up if you want to try to keep your holes kind of like ice-free
Somebody
or snow-free
thought, hey, boy,
because
if I
it
had a
fits
glove,
over
I
the
could
hole.
Just get my
Remember?
fingertips out.
What do you think this might be?
And that helps a lot. And then I have warmer gloves too, with really heavy insulation. Yeah, they're pretty nice.
And again, you can make these. It is styrofoam,
Yeah, there's a picture of how they hook them.
right.
They hook them through the
So
middle.
now if I have
When we
one
go
of these
fishing.
tip-ups, and if I take this and I slide my tip-up in, now what have I done?
Covered the hole.
You've insulated the holes.
I've insulated the hole, just like this one does naturally, this does it too. So I can make these. If I were to buy something that's very similar to this,
Yes,
they're almost $20 a piece. I can make that for a whole lot less. And it's lightweight, it's whatever, and it helps to insulate the hole to keep the snow and stuff from blowing. So that's what these are for. Very similar to this, only this is a round one, a commercial. This is just a homemade job. Works the same idea though, covers up the hole.
Okay, this is what we take out, this is kind of normal.
Why would I take these ice fishing? And what are they?
Knee pad. Knee pad.
They're knee pads. Why would I take these ice fishing?
So you don't hurt your knee.
When would I use them? When I'm setting up the tip-ups, correct, and or if it gets wet, if it's raining or drizzling, all right? So every time I kneel down on the ice, I don't want to have my knees get wet. That's not good. Now, I can buy a commercial pair of duds, if you want to call it that have automatic knee pads, but you're looking at $250 a lot of times just for the pair of pants, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that has them?
Just Bob.
Bob?
Bob Mueller,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, $200 to $250 which is good if you can afford, if that's what you want to do, but these also work. I also just sometimes take just a regular piece of foam with me, carry it along, whatever, and kneel on that. All right? Any questions? You want to keep your knees dry because you're kneeling down, you're checking the bait, you're checking the tip up, all right? So you don't want to get wet. So you'd have something to protect your knees. Something to protect your knees. Any other questions you might have?
What other clothing items would you use? What kind of gloves would you use?
Doug?
Well, there's gloves coming right there beside you. I usually have some really heavy-duty insulated gloves, and I'll put a hand warmer in each one. So if my fingers get cold, and they do get cold pretty easy for me, I'll get my tip up ready, and then I'll put those heavy-duty gloves on. But I'll wear something like that have the fingertips that come off, or I have a rubberized pair of gloves like this that is just like a rubber palm, and it fits real tight over my fingers. So I can work and get the bait on, but these don't give me a lot of insulation. They don't keep my fingers warm. So once I get set up, I'll peel these off and put on my heavy gloves.
You want to see the gloves.
Sure. Thanks.
And again, you can invest whatever amount of dollars you want, but if I'm going to have dollars to invest in something to keep me warm, and especially my hands, that's the ticket. Because obviously, if you're on the ice for 3 or 4 hours plus, depending on how cold it is, the one thing that's going to get cold are your hands. And
your
sometimes
feet.
your feet, depending on what kind of boots you wear. So again, it's wintertime fishing, it's wintertime outdoors. Make sure you dress in layers, all right? And be prepared for the cold weather, all right?
Now,
Any other questions?
I just use these little hand warmers that are thermal, they're chemical activated, so you just rip the package open and expose them to air. A few minutes later, they're warm, and I stuff them either in my boots, one in each boot, and one in my gloves. That keeps me nice and warm all day.
One of the things for safety, again, if you notice on this bucket, what do you see? This is my bait bucket, all right? But if for some reason I don't have a bag thrower, I put a piece of rope around a bait bucket, so again, I just rip this off and I throw the bucket, which is essentially the same idea as throwing this, all right? So again, see the bait bucket wrapped with rope?
Yeah.
All right, so that's another safety feature that I carry.
Is it your love of fishing that spurred you to go?
It's just fun,
on the
yeah.
ice?
Fun to do, get some exercise, get out with the guys, and yeah, have fun.
A lot of times too, depending on how thick the ice is and how long you're going to be on the ice, there are a lot of fellows that will take their propane heaters. So propane heaters, everybody knows what a propane heater is, all right? A lot of times they'll take food to cook and so forth. It depends on how you want to go. But our particular group, just so you understand, we're not after panfish. We're after bass and northerns, the bigger fish. So it requires us to move very frequently. Doug, you want to tell them how often some of your guys are moving?
Yeah, the guy that taught me, probably, he moves, if he doesn't catch anything within a half hour, he's got his auger out and he's drilling more holes, and he'll, one at a time, he'll take his tip-ups, put his bait in a little cup, and he might walk, I don't know, a quarter mile sometimes to move and, you know, try a different place. But yeah, if he doesn't have any action within a half hour to an hour at the most, he's, all right, I'm moving. So he starts moving his stuff. Yeah, he drilled probably over 30 holes on Monday.
It's not unusual for us when we have the big augers and so forth, if we have a group of guys, we could actually drill 100 holes plus on an average day. So that's why it's very important to have good augers and sharp equipment so that you can get through the ice because we move. Not everybody does that. Everybody has their own style. Some guys I know will drill 5 holes and sit there all day long and not move. That's not for me and it's not for us. Okay? Now, this
one of
little
mine
cup
now.
he's talking about, if I have a bait fish on the end of this and if I want to relocate from here to, let's say to your cafeteria, from here to your cafeteria, if it's cold and windy, if I don't want to take the bait fish off of the hook, I just want to transfer it all the way over there. But what I do is I have a little cup with water in it, I put the bait fish in it, so whenever I'm walking, the bait fish doesn't get frozen in the air. You think, well, how long does it take to kill a fish? Not very long.
Not long.
If it's a small bait fish, 3 or 4 inches, it can die from here to over where your cafeteria is, because if it's that cold, it's actually freezing the fish in the air.
Yeah.
So he keeps this little cup, puts a bait fish in it, and then he walks it over to where he wants it.
Put $1 in when you're walking around.
Yeah, there you go. Put $1 in. You're right. When you figure it's $7 a dozen, if a bait fish is only this big, each one of them is worth how much? Yeah, so you don't want to lose them, all right? You're right. I figure $1 a piece. $1 a piece, easy. Easy. Okay. Everybody understands this concept. This is super important. You need to understand how big fish are going to kill a bait fish. You need to understand this one more important than anything else. Any questions? All right. Officially, that's the end of the program.